Welcome back to the Without Context podcast. This would be episode 5.1. I probably should check that before I started recording.
I think it's 5.1.
It's 5.1.
5.1.
Episode 4 was recommending me anime.
That's right. So, yep. And 5 was our interests outside of gaming, which is what this episode spins off from. We're going to play a game today. And it was going to be called Fake or Fanfiction, but I didn't have time to come up with fake sentences. So we're going to play a game where we're going to pick, is it from a fanfiction or is it from an OpenRP? So...
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Whoa. So we'll go around the... We're not going to have a buzzer in. I will ask each of you one, and you have to pick.
I have a question before we begin.
Sure.
Go ahead, Deca.
What constitutes an OpenRP versus a fanfiction?
Whatever tweet I read out. So
Gotcha.
I got both of these from Twitter accounts. So yep. Haley.
How about to raise the stakes? And anytime we get it wrong, we have to share something fanfiction related that we've something that involves us and fanfiction we've written or fanfiction that we've read or something. So we get a little bit of that spicy getting to know us and our weird fanfiction-y past, present, and future.
I'm all about it because to quote the famous Brendan Lee Mulligan, there's not a quarter of my soul I would not turn over for 5 points.
Love that guy.
Love him.
All right. Well, let's get this train wreck started. So
hell yeah.
We'll start with Haley.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to read you something, and you're going to have to tell me, is it RP or fanfiction?
Oh, no.
Okay. Let's see if I can even read these, because I'm just I'm looking at it and fucking laughing.
Here, nobody look at Sharky.
No, I can. It's not me looking at you and laughing. It's me looking at the shit I have to fucking read.
Do your best.
I will make eye contact with you the whole time.
SpongeBob sat down at the bar angrily. He had just been called a twink online, but couldn't help but feel angry. He was not a twink. It was pretty clear he was a hunk. He glanced down and saw someone staring at him. What are you looking at? Fanfiction or OpenRP?
First, I'm shocked that SpongeBob has such high self-esteem that he sees himself as a hunk and not a twink.
He's clearly a twunk.
A twunk. I want it to be fanfiction, but I feel like is it OpenRP?
It is an OpenRP. It is a... If I wasn't full screen recording the Discord call, I'd post it in Discord so you could see it. It's a OpenRP with a very angry SpongeBob face image, and then that paragraph written below it. So
there was something about it as a connoisseur of fanfiction that didn't scream fanfiction to me.
Oh my god.
So my fanfiction remains a secret for a little bit longer.
All right. So that's 1 point for Haley, and nobody wins in this game, so it doesn't matter.
No, we don't.
Nobody wins, and the points don't matter.
1 point.
All right. Deca.
Capture my face, you bastard.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there.
Capture my face, you bastard. Is this OpenRP?
All right, Deca. This one might be a little easier. What's the bad news? Said Dante. The doctor took out 2 machine guns. I'm the bad news.
What the fuck?
Fanfiction.
It is fanfiction. It is a fanfiction called Devil May Cry: Gears of Madness by... I'm not going to say the author.
I was going to say, do you really want to out that person?
It is
Thank you for your contribution to the author.
It is a 1 chapter that ends on a cliffhanger, apparently.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is probably under 100 words.
Oh, shit.
And what I can see here is Well, he spelled motorcycle wrong, which is one thing. But that I don't know. Like, this is so weird.
I've done that
Anyway,
before. Spell check.
Internet culture.
all right. So, yeah, so you got that
1
one right. That
point
was a
for
little easier.
me, 1 point for Deca.
All right, Alvin.
Tally.
Oh boy, I'm ready.
This is being told from my previous notes from Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Ah,
I've injected Harley Quinn with a lethal virus. One syringe contains the antidote. The other contains lethal poisons. So I ask one question: what is a life worth to you?
Jesus.
These are bad. This sucks.
I have to fucking find them.
This one gives me fanfiction vibes, I think.
This is from a Twitter OpenRP. So
All right, Sky, spill your guts.
My fanfiction was about Warhammer 40k because 40k lore is fantastic, and I am still in love with 40k lore. So that'll be your little tidbit for mine for now. Mine's not as juicy as everybody else's, so
Oh, I've got the juice.
that's fair.
I've also got the juice.
I need you to get this wrong.
Okay, let's see.
I think it's back to me, Sharky.
It is. I'm looking for.
Unfortunately, it's my turn again.
Unfortunately, it is your turn. So, why do all these have to be gay? Like, it's not even like
fan fiction.
That's fanfiction.
Because there's not enough representation in traditional media, so all fan fiction.
And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like the bad, like, middle school writing of it. Or the people trying to write. God.
We all start somewhere.
Yep.
And I'm eating my nerves by eating potato
All right.
sticks.
Here's one that's probably not bad, but still difficult.
Oh, God.
Smelling chili dogs not far away, Sonic darted up to the twin-tailed fox. Hey, little buddy, are you gonna eat those?
See, that doesn't even seem bad. I'm sure it probably leads to like some kind of like heinous sex act.
Maybe.
It's the fact that you keep ending them on a question is what's really throwing me off, because that's usually how like RPs work to like keep the conversation going. But I'm gonna go against my gut and say that it's fan fiction.
It is an open RP.
Ooh.
I knew it because it ended in a freaking question, but I chose stupid.
Should have trusted your heart.
My first fan fiction that I wrote in like middle school, high school was, as I said on the regular podcast, like a self-insert fanfic with Kiba from Naruto. Did I use any elements from Naruto besides the characters? No. Did I publish it on Quizilla? Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
Did I get messages from random people on Quizilla asking me, when is it gonna turn lemon? And that's how I learned what lemon was. Which, lemon is what they used to call when it got spicy back in the day. It was lemon. That was the code, so you wouldn't get your shit rocked on Quizilla.
I thought that's what they referenced. I thought that's how they referenced, in particular, lesbian or WLW.
By the time I was into it, it was just like a blanket term.
Okay.
Sorry, I shouldn't be
when I was
potato sticks.
When I was reading fanfiction and I was writing it back 15, I think.
Wild West.
Yeah, lemon was kind of like the overall, like, there is sexual content in this.
Okay.
And
I think it probably had origins before that, but I mean, by the time
I'm sure the straights took it from the gays, 100%.
Absolutely.
By the time that I was reading it, the whole Anne Rice like lawsuit thing had already happened, Where
Oh
it's
my
like,
god.
where it's like, you can't write fan fiction with my characters, I'm going to sue your ass. And I think she's still doing
And she
it.
wrote it as Lestat, didn't she?
Yeah,
wrote
she
it,
wrote
like,
it in
character as
character.
Lestat. What a freaking
So-
weirdo.
Back to Deca. Simple one. Has anyone seen my dick?
Oh my god.
Ooh woo.
That's an open RP.
That is an open RP from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
want to play this game.
I'm just
anymore.
imagining like Sonic runs into frame. He's like, "Has anybody seen my dick?"
This is definitely one of those episodes that's like, why the fuck did they make this episode? And it's honestly because of me, because I had the idea for a game show with this as a section. And honestly, it's working very well, and I want to continue doing it in the future.
Plus, it's our show and not yours, and we can do whatever we want with it.
And there's no context to any of it.
Nope.
This epitomizes no context, actually.
Without context.
All right. Back to Alvin.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately. Michael Myers once again prowls Haddonfield, Illinois, looking for hot guys to thrill and kill.
This one's got to be a fan fiction, right?
It is. It is from the homosexuality of Michael Myers on Fanfiction.
See, if you're giving me stuff from fandoms that I actually know about, I'd be doing really good at this game.
More Naruto
Is
Sonic
fix,
game of my
please.
life.
Is an MLM fan fiction of Michael Myers just like the bury your gaze trope over and over and over again?
I have no idea. I saw the title, the author
Mass grave
name,
your
and
gaze.
I saw the title, the author's name, and then the little like scene setting, like a line of text that people will set is the night he came, and then I closed the fan fiction.
Oh no!
Oh,
Demonetized.
fuck. This is terrible.
So I haven't got that one right.
Mm-hmm. Deca is
Alright.
in the lead with 2 points.
Anyway,
Sharky.
at the age of 756, Sonic the Hedgehog has now passed.
Why the fuck do you keep giving me Sonic?
It's the only one that's popping up across both of these accounts.
So at the age of 756, Sonic has now passed.
Yes.
God, I feel like I'm going to keep getting these wrong. OpenRP?
This is from a fanfiction story called Sonic the Hedgehog Make America Great Again, and the person holding Sonic's body is Donald Trump. So...
Who killed him?
I don't know. Actually, wait a minute. I probably do. Let me search for this line of
It was
text real
probably
quick.
the socialists. And Tifa killed Sonic. God,
Bernie
I gotta
Sanders.
spill my guts again.
Okay,
Well,
so I looked at this and I'm more confused because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in seven like 2-sentence paragraphs that conclude chapter 41. How many? Oh my god, this thing has 57 chapters.
Dedicated.
This last bit of this chapter includes Richard Nixon, Barack Obama, Sonic the Hedgehog, Garfield, some guy named Larry. I don't know which Larry that's referring to. Winnie the Pooh, Backstreet Boys, Alex Jones, and Donald Trump.
I feel better about not getting it right. There's a lot going on in the characters.
They're also apparently it might have time travel because they're fighting in Stalingrad. So I am exhausted reading this. But yes, that chapter ends with Alex Jones holding Sonic's body after he dies in battle, apparently.
Turn the freaking frogs gay. But more Haley talks about fanfiction. I have read let me look up how long it is, but I've read this same like Raylo fanfiction
Oh my god.
3 times. It's good, so I'm actually going to credit the person who wrote it. It's by Diasterisms on AO3. It's called Landscape with a Blur of Conquerors. It's the name of a painting, and it is 70 chapters, 362,850 words, and I've read that bitch 3 times.
Is it concluded?
It is concluded. Yep,
Okay.
it's done. It finished in no, not that. She just finished another one. She's like a very prolific Raylo fanfiction writer, which, like, yes, Raylo is problematic, but I like what I like.
This is the most not safe for work episode I think we're ever going to record.
Yes,
it was completed January 29th, 2020. So, like, in the before times.
Wow.
And it's like a political epic of, like, an alternate universe. It's good. If you're a Raylo, it's good. If you know me in real life, you're learning a lot about me that you didn't know.
If you know me in real life, no, you don't.
I mean, I have friends from grad school who said they listened to the podcast, so, like, hi, sorry.
That's on you, honey.
Oh, god damn it. Part of me was hoping I forgot to press record so we could just call this off. But
just go in like one more round after this round.
All right, Deca.
Yes.
It was insensitive of me to make those jokes 20 years ago. SpongeBob reads a statement off the teleprompter.
That's a fan fiction.
It is a fan fiction.
God, Deca's good at this game.
Let me
I'm good at literary analysis, but I can't put it into words.
It is from a fan fiction called SpongeBob Gets Cancelled.
I have questions. I need to know, but I don't want to.
Was it when he said, "Weesna"?
Was this?
God, I hope not.
Was it when he said "Mihoy Minoy"?
That wasn't even him. That was Doodle Bob.
Yeah, but it was.
It was his creation.
Chaotic him.
So.
It was chaotic him.
Or was it when he was the magic conch? Ooh!
I don't. Oh my god! There's actually like. I don't know like what they're even referring to in this, and I'm not going to try to read it. So.
Speed read
link me. Send me a link. I'll read it and get it back to you.
No, I'm closing like all these tabs. I'm closing like all these tabs when I finish.
You better be in freaking incognito mode, my guy.
No, he's gonna be on a watch list after this.
He committed.
My Chrome history is gonna look really fucking weird.
SharkyHat has been added to the no-fly list.
All right, so let's move to Alvin again.
I'm bad at this game.
This game, nobody wins at this game. What did I tell you?
Nobody
we
wins.
all lose.
I am Drake Bell. I deserve more respect.
Oh, no, you do not, homie. Enjoy being in jail.
This is apparently posted back in 2015, by the way. So this is way before all that had happened.
This is an OpenRP, but it's from Drake Bell's actual verified account.
I can't verify the second part, but you did get the first part correct.
Well done.
Oh, God.
Well done.
Well played.
Oh, God. What's the context?
You know what? I'm curious too. Let me, Drake Bell deserve more respect. I'm going to just search for this quote real quick.
For those who don't know, Drake Bell deserves no respect and is actually going to jail.
I don't know. I don't know what the context is, because anytime I put in "I am Drake Bell deserve more respect," it just brings me to a bunch of his stuff about his case file. So,
oh my god!
Yikes!
I think this might have been deleted. So it's whatever.
We can make up the context. Maybe it had to do with like. It was from it was from an OpenRP, right?
Yes.
It was probably in reference to that time he and his brother Josh, his stepbrother Josh, almost ran over, or did they run over Oprah?
They hit Oprah.
Someone was probably calling him out for running over Oprah, and he's like, "I'm Drake Bell. I just ran over his back." I'm like, "You hit Oprah with your car."
We're gonna go through one more round. We're gonna go through one more round, and actually, given the time for this, I wonder if we can put this on like Instagram or something.
Don't tag me in this. I'm trying to build like a
some behind
educational the scenes, YouTube channel.
Just some behind the scenes conversation. We're only at 20 minutes right now. I don't think I can stretch this out for a good enough time.
I mean, we can stop the game and then we could just talk about like fan fiction in general.
I think I like this better. We're already doing one thing. We might as well keep it going.
All right.
One more round.
I'm going through these things, like trying to find one that's not obvious.
Find me one that's not Sonic, for the love of God.
I'm working on it.
It's very difficult.
Have you guys seen that TikTok series where the guy's like, if you have any sort of reaction to this word, you might be entitled to financial compensation, has like member and length and like all these like horrible ways people used to refer to like male junk in fan fictions in the past.
I hate that.
I'll have to find
here's
those
one.
and link them.
Here's one. Just if anybody wants to take a guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You've just ruined the meme format.
You just ruined the meme format.
It's an OpenRP.
That's what I was going to go with.
I think it's an OpenRP.
I agree with Deca. I was going to say, whatever Deca said, I was going to be like, totally the same.
Does Alvin agree?
I agree.
Okay, that was actually a YouTube comment. I switched over to another Twitter page.
I like that Haley's camera literally froze there.
Yeah, there's other ones to follow. It's like YouTube text. It's like stupid, funny things from YouTube comments and other stuff. So I was like, let's change it up real quick.
That was the perfect frame to like.
Oh God!
Like, stop on.
I think with more time, this game works.
Technically, YouTube comments are OpenRPs.
Don't
say that.
I can read you.
We have comments.
I can read to you guys if we wanted to like add a little bit to it from the r/fanfiction Reddit of most unintentionally funny fanfic lines you've read.
Yes.
We have.
This is just like This is just like the joke fanfic episode now. Just 5.1 joke. That's like joking fanfiction.
Okay, so we have. It was Friday the 13th, the night before Halloween.
I've seen that one, and it punches me in the face every time I hear it. Like,
continue, please.
We have. Snape wiped his fingers on the mattress, took a deep breath, thankful for the cold air and torchlit darkness. What is he wiping his face on?
Use your imagination.
I don't know.
I don't wanna.
Just I've heard the one. It was Friday the 13th, the night before Halloween, and every time I hear it, it's like a punch in the face. Like it's just one of those.
Here's a good one.
Stupid lines.
Here's a good one. Silence, pancake slave. Problematic.
Do they link what that's from?
RWBY.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh no, Ruby.
Oh no.
Oh, Ruby.
Was that Rooster Teeth?
Yeah.
Anime?
Yep.
I have written one for that. I've written two for that. I'm still getting email notifications to this day, and it kills a part of my soul every time I get an email notification that somebody has liked the story. So
I've got a pretty good one. It's from a Harry Potter fic.
Oh god, these are the best.
He's just like Voldemort, short, redheaded, and wears glasses.
Speaking of Harry Potter, we have Harry, you must rock the fuck out.
Can we talk about the best fan fiction though? One that has, or there's multiple, but this one has transcended fan fiction into an animation.
My name is
Half-Life.
Dimension.
Half-Life Full Life Consequences.
Oh God.
What are you talking about?
It's somebody took a fan fiction for Half-Life or Half-Life 2 about Gordon Freeman's brother and how he's dealing with everything, and they put it into an animation through Source Filmmaker, and it's like multiple parts, but it's written in broken English. It's nonsensical. Like, I still watch those videos like to this day because they're so goddamn funny. But yes, then you have My Immortal, which is like the quintessential like bad fan fiction.
I stuck my middle finger up at them.
Then we have a fan fiction that transcended into published work, like Twilight. Which
Twilight was self-insert fan fiction of her and Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
Which then spawned NSFW fan fiction by E.L. James of Twilight, which became 50 Shades. And I learned recently that the Mortal Instruments series, which was made into a movie that was made into a TV series, Shadowhunters, was based on a Ron X Ginny fan fiction, and that's why there's the weird sibling subplot.
Yes,
because they were siblings in the original fan fiction.
I have a friend.
Oh my god!
I have a friend that loves Shadowhunters, and she keeps wanting me to watch it. I know that plot line and everything because the face that I use for Travis is Will Tudor from that show, who plays Sebastian, I think is his name. But it's like this like chiseled jawline, like short blonde hair, blue eyes. And I was like, this is the perfect character to represent this character, so I don't have to write a lot of descriptions.
There was Go ahead. There was recently a book that was published by someone named Allie Hazelwood. It's called The Love Hypothesis, which I don't know if you want me to show the picture. Well, I'm going to show it to you guys here so you can see it. Tell me that shit ain't a Raylo book.
That cover is obviously plagiarized.
Literally,
like there's Ben Solo and there's Ray.
But let's do, since we kind of hit the history topic a bit, I wanted to actually probably add a little more depth to this episode here, and kind of talk about like the history a bit, because the history on Wikipedia has a specific section for Star Trek fandoms.
The pioneers.
Yep.
They walked so the Omegaverse could run.
Yeah, what people I think don't know about is like this stuff had to come from somewhere. Like people had to start writing about their favorite thing, usually with self-insert characters. But the Star Trek fandom did it with fanzines in the 60s. Which like predates like everything that we have now. It wasn't until like 98 that fanfiction.net came out and let people do stuff like that. But the thing is, you're starting to see this trend, as Haley was mentioning, that some of these works that were meant for other things are being reskinned with like name changes and stuff like that to be their own like thing. Like I think Netflix has it's either Netflix or Amazon, I can't remember, but they have like the Kissing Booth movie, which started as I think a Wattpad or a fanfiction, I can't remember, that then got picked up to become a thing. But I know the movie After, which is also I think on Netflix or Amazon or something like that, was originally a One Direction fanfiction.
So, that was a Harry Styles fanfiction.
And then
everything that you're saying.
They secured a book and movie deal, but they had to rename the characters. So it's just like you're seeing this thing now where people can do stuff like this and if it just gets popular enough, you just slap a new coat of paint on it, and then boom, you're published. Like,
my personal favorite piece of historical fan fiction is The Divine Comedy by Dante, because that's just Christian fan fiction. And
really
people
is.
liked it so much that like the modern conception of purgatory and hell were derived from this guy who wrote a series of like, I don't know if it was prose or like, I forget what technical genre The Divine Comedy is, but like he self-inserted himself into Christian fandom to hang out with his like idol Virgo to go find
Virgil.
This woman that he was in love with that he never was in a relationship with, so he could live out that like, I'm saving you from the afterlife, and like it's one of the most famous pieces of Christian literature in the world, and it's just freaking self-insert Christianity fan fiction.
Yeah.
Speaking of Christianity, I just want, this is a gold mine. It's a live journal website that's called Bad Fic Quotes.
Oh yes.
So speaking of Christianity in specific, the title of this fic is "Oh crap, I'm pregnant," and the summary of it is Jesus cheated on his husband Satan with Nicolas Cage and is now in labor about to give birth.
I would watch this movie because of Nicolas Cage. I watched a movie about Nicolas Cage and his pig. I can watch this movie.
I haven't been to church in a while, but I feel like I need to go like
right now immediately. Bye.
God, like it's dumb. Like I think some of it like has to be intentional. Like
shitposting.
It has to be like, I'm going to shitpost in a structure. But then you have the ones that are like, it's kind of sad because people put like their heart and soul into writing a story they want to write, and then it just gets just dunked on because it's so dumb in everybody else's eyes.
Like, I still don't think we've gotten to the answer of whether My Immortal was genuine or shitposting.
I think that transcends. Like, I think that is now like its own.
It's just canon.
That's the singularity. That is where shitposting and effort like meet, and both cannot go higher.
Like, I just love in that one that she just like made at least Harry, like she renamed some of the characters because they weren't goth enough. Like turn them into vampires, and they went to MCR of Good Charlotte concerts in Hogsmeade.
Oh god.
That'll never not be funny.
It's just like another punch in the gut, like every time we talk about like something we see in a fan fiction.
But I also feel like fan fiction, since we've talked about how like some fan fictions, for good or for bad, have been made into like mainstream, like non-fan fiction media. Yeah. But I feel like fan fiction and fan fiction writers have really pushed the writing, like the book publishing industry and like regular media forward, because they're able to tell more progressive and inclusive stories in these spaces. And that has had an impact on how media is being developed. Like, it obviously hasn't caught up if like most like the representation hasn't aligned, but it's still helping push society forward by having a place to tell these stories, and it's becoming more and more popular and more socially accepted. So power to the fan fiction writers.
And I think it adds, looking at this Wikipedia page, they do have a section on sex and gender from 2020. It was a study. Users who disclosed their gender on their profile. 50.4% are female or femme-leaning. 13 are masculine or masculining. 11 disclose that they are transgender. 21% are non-binary. So it's definitely a place where fanfiction is definitely a place where people can write themselves, I think, more naturally too, using a familiar setting. I think just like at my point in time, like as a writer and like me doing it, or like me having written fan fiction, all that, I've always thought like a self-insert was kind of cringy for some reason. Like it's just one of those things where it's like this, because I've always been like a kind of a sucker for detail and canon. So I've always kind of written stuff that like is believable in the world, not like just something that completely deviates. But I can definitely see it like being an escape for things, especially with like the more developed worlds. Like I can see Harry Potter being like really popular thing, especially with most fan fiction writers are in their early to mid 20s according to this. So you think they probably started in their like mid-teens back when those movies were like coming out and stuff like that. So
Plus, I feel like it's more acceptable for there to be like a sort of like self-insert sort of phenomenon in mainstream media, especially when it's coming from like, not to dunk on you, Sharky, but like straight white guys. Like Luke Skywalker is George Lucas's self-insert into this fantasy world that he created, and no one says anything about it
the man
because
put
like
his family into one of the Star Wars.
like, so I know that I started writing like self-insert Naruto fan fiction when I started getting into that show, because like all my friends and stuff were watching it and talking about it, but I didn't feel like I and the things that I liked or represented were like well presented in that universe. So like I'll make my own. And I know other people who have done the same, because like there's not people who look, sound, think, act like them in these established universes. So they make self inserts so that they feel like they're a part of this world and this lore and all story that they love so much. So I know that a lot of people tend to like fixate on like the cringy fan fiction or like the poorly written fan fiction, but like I felt doubly disappointed by the Rise of Skywalker because I read so many good fan fictions. And I'm like, just hire these people. Like, they know the lore. They've made all these compelling stories that are so inclusive and progressive. And then you get that shit. Like, shut up.
We have
Fan
to be
fiction's
really
great.
we have to be really careful with the concept of hire fans, because in the gaming spaces that is so I hate to bring it back to gaming, but in the gaming spaces it is the most entitled fucking thing you can say. Yes.
What is a hire fan?
No, it's not hire like HIGHER, it's HIRE. Hire fans.
Okay.
It is the most entitled fucking thing you can say to imply that these concept artists, these designers, these like people who do the art, these people who program the game aren't fans of the thing they're making.
Yeah, because we've seen what happens when people who aren't invested in something, like how they handle it. A lot of the time, it just kind of loses that, heart to it. It just becomes a thing that becomes made for money at that point.
It happened with a lot of MMORPGs that I played. You can tell when EA takes over a game when the heart goes away.
Yeah,
Dark Age of Camelot.
That was a good point that you made, Deca. That was a good point that you made, and I'm grateful that you pointed it out.
But
we just gotta keep keep people honest about that sort of thing. Because
for sure.
Yes, hire fans. Make sure your fans are proficient at what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The biggest thing I think that's still like a punch in the gut when I think about it is comic books are just the longest running mainstream fan fiction.
Yeah.
Like, because you have the original creators, like the original artists, the original people writing the comics back in like the 30s and 40s. And when they leave, that character gets taken over by another writer who then has to write an existing character in their own way. So it's like comics are just an endless chain of fan fiction coming out. And that's why you see so many parts in comics where, like, from one series to another series, characters will just lose all characterization. It's just like, how have you screwed up like so badly with this character? It's because that author wanted to do something that completely like changed that character. So then you have other writers coming in after rectifying like the situation and all that, which is why a lot of these companies do like reboots and stuff to kind of get everybody back to at least DC. DC Comics is notorious for it. It's like every year they do like a whole like line reboot back to like the status quo. But Marvel's has this thing where it's just kept going, so they've had to like duct tape fixes to like character changes and like revert stuff back through like story arcs and stuff to get them back to how they were. But it's like, just think about that. It's like comics are just the most successful fan fiction.
Didn't even think about it like that.
I think Doctor Who might also be.
Yeah,
Especially-
because it's like just the reincarnation of this one character.
But it's
But
also
they're
like
all
just the writers, like the writing team changes, so you have somebody taking over for X number of seasons, like writing it their way.
yeah.
So, but
I
yeah,
feel like if anything, we've realized that like cringy, well written, pornographic, or just about hey, you want some chili dogs. Fan fiction seems to be a pretty prolific part of like pop culture
it is.
at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't want this to discourage people from writing it, because I wrote fan fiction to start like my writing, because it's easier to work with tools that you know rather than trying to create something on your own.
It's definitely a good launching pad.
But it's also like you have to have care when you do, you have to like care for your grammar. You have to make sure you've, proofread stuff. You can't just throw it up there where it's like filled with errors and misspellings and stuff like other people seem to be doing. So also, like, don't make it like so overly shitposty unless you're like meaning to. Like, if have somebody read it or something.
Leave the shit posting to Chuck Tingle.
See,
Oh,
at least
boy.
with mine, when I was writing it and posting it, I actually like had friends online that would like read it for me before I posted it.
Oh, it was death before I let anyone that I knew read my Naruto fanfiction.
It's like
Death
it's
before
like
that.
it just cuts. It's like, hey, we found your Naruto fanfiction. It just cuts.
No,
to,
you didn't, because I
It
deleted
just
that
cuts
shit
to like
years
it just
ago.
cuts to the headstone. You realize, Haley.
I would simply pass away.
This has been a weird episode.
This
A little
has
bit.
been.
Just a little bit.
20 minutes of nonsense into an actual like breakdown and study of the
Hey man,
concept.
if I feel like the structure of it and how we went from just like talking about like the game show part to this is like really encompassing of like what fan fiction is like. It's a wild west.
It is a Wild West because there's no editorial to it. It's just people posting what they want to post. And even like Wattpad it's dominated by fan fiction most of the time. Like if
I
even
read a
going
lot
to
of
the
1B.
even if going to the homepage, it's just like all the trending, all like the top popular ones are fan fictions. Like trying to find an original story in there, it's just they're buried by fan fiction entries. And I think it falls back on the thing where fan fiction is just easier to write because you have everything in front of you and you can just like rearrange the pieces and all that. But it definitely is a good like starting point, but you definitely should start branching out after a few to your own writing and at least trying to use it to get the basics down, like to understand like how to write dialogue, to understand characters, plot progression, and then work that into something more once you get the experience. This what I did.
Thanks
that
for
pretty funny.
watching the point one.
Yeah.
Like I said, this has been a weird episode.
It's been a
This
weird
is,
episode.
Cursed context.
I extremely cursed context. That's good. I extremely apologize if anyone saw me where I'm just like disassociated there for a little bit.
I
It's
was
fine.
wondering if you were all right. I was like, is he okay? Should we like
No, it's
stop
just-
filming?
No, you're good.
Just wanted
I
to
just
make sure you were
I
okay.
you guys were going there for a bit, and I didn't want to like jump in.
That's fair. And we didn't even like touch on like the lawsuit issues that popped up from fan fiction.
We don't
George-
gotta get lost in
We
that
don't
kind of
get touched.
sauce.
It's like Anne Rice,
okay.
George R.R. Martin, like they just don't want people writing fan fiction of their stuff.
Oh,
Which is
well, good luck,
which is
George.
Which is impressive because the entire TV show was fan fiction of your work.
I was gonna say,
So-
yeah, all
Maybe
of
we
Game of
wouldn't-
Thrones.
Maybe we wouldn't need to write fanfiction, George, if you finished Winds of Winter. Get your
This man's gonna-
ghostwriters on that, Georgie.
This man went and made he's making a straight video game before finishing that book. So
He's gonna die before Winds of Winter comes out. Like, I've just come to peace with it.
I mean, it's so weird. We need that book because the TV show never finished. So we need
I
to get the ending
mean-
of the story.
Yeah, Winds of Winter. Well, we can talk about Game of Thrones off camera, but Winds of Winter is like the TV show has already gone past what would be in Winds of Winter, so we'll find out.
Yeah. So, thank you for joining us for this train wreck of an episode about fan fiction.
We're sorry.
I'm going
No,
to
we're
do
not.
my best to probably make the first 20 minutes as easy to get through as possible. But yeah, this was just kind of a post-recording also. So I think we're kind of feeling a little tired doing it. But it's fine
All
because this is just a bonus episode. So
Mhm.
hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next Friday with a particularly fun episode for Friday.
Yes.
Which, if you like, and what did Alvin put it? The diet
Great
brand,
value Liberty Group.
the Great Value Liberty Group. So if you like superheroes and nonsense, join us next Friday. So, as always, things are in the description. I've been SharkyHat. We have Haley, Decavolty, and Sky with us. So, we'll see you all later.
Bye.
Bye. We're sorry. Bye.
No, we're
Sorry,
not.
bye.